The first images from inside the Pentagon came from a combat photographer with ties to East Tennessee. This, of course, happening on 9/11. 10 News anchor John Becker joins us with his service and sacrifice.
Robin, tonight we look back at the memories of Air Force veteran Dave Barlow. We last spoke to him in 2015 about a day he will never forget behind the lens. He was the first photographer allowed inside the Pentagon the day after the attacks on 9/11. A security camera recorded the moment an airplane crashed into the Pentagon in Washington during the 9/11 attacks in 2001.
We were the only two cameras, one video camera allowed in.
The first video images from inside that building came through the video camera lens of Air Force veteran Dave Barlow.
Yeah, I was fearful. I didn't know what to expect.
In his 8 years of service with the military's combat camera unit, Barlow served on missions in close to 20 countries.
I've done hurricanes and disasters and things before, but never kind of on the homeland.
The morning after the 9/11 attack, Barlow had made the marathon drive from his South Carolina base to D.C., slipped into a protective suit.
This is an area where the aircraft came right through.
And this veteran military photographer found himself on the front lines of history.
Yeah, I'm trying to tell the story that, I'm inside this building that's just been, blown to pieces by an airplane. And it was very dark, very hard to make stuff out. I can still smell it in my head, the hair, the blood, just walking through there. So we're seeing body parts, we're seeing just everything was burnt, black, water everywhere.
In several rooms, he ran across a chilling scene, a black box of melted plastic and glass with bodies surrounding it. Barlow quickly figured out those boxes were television sets, most likely tuned to the first terror strikes and their aftermath unfolding in New York City.
That was probably one thing I remember the most, just these people not even knowing, just watching New York City, thinking to themselves, wow, what's going on? And then, they don't even know it hits them. So that was one thing that really stood out to me.
He spent more than 6 hours recording a recovery and rebuilding effort already underway.
There's a lot of work going on down here. They're putting up these pieces of wood over here, and they're stacking them almost like Legos to give some support.
Another scene that caught his eye was the look of the lights with fluorescent bulbs.
The blast didn't break them, but the heat just kind of melted them, and they hung a couple of feet, just these long tube fluorescents that would just melt like taffy if you see at the carnivals.
But Barlow understood he was treading on hallowed ground. 125 people working inside the Pentagon lost their lives on 9/11.
This is somebody's desk. I'm not sure if he passed away in this or not, but his glasses are still on the desk. Candy dish, it's tipped over. The clock had fallen on the floor at the exact time the airplane hit. Emotionally, I didn't think about it until later that night when I, got home and I was out of my suit and everything like that. I kind of, pondered it, thought about what I just experienced.
All the major news outlets used his footage. The FBI cut classified clips to fold into its forensic case. And Barlow's mission on the grounds of the Pentagon was just beginning.
For the next week to 2 weeks, we were outside. We were interviewing numerous people about their eyewitness accounts of it. All that video, of course, was confiscated, and I haven't seen it to this day.
But on September 12th, the duty fell on one man to capture the raw reality of this scene and share it with an entire country in mourning. Right now, you can read more about the influence his military service has had on the rest of his life in our Service and Sacrifice section of WBIR.com.